Man, my connection. God, I love these storms. All right, we're going to try this again, you all. What's the formula? Wednesday, dope. Dominating on purpose every day. What y'all dominating on? Let me share this out to a few folks. And you all should share it out to a few of your folks too. Let them get some of these gems. There he is. Man, we love technology, you all. Love technology. This thing.
There we go, finally.
Man. Oh, these phones and this technology, man.
They not gonna
stop
stop these
crazy.
gems today.
No, sir. No, sir.
Good,
What's
man. Just a
going
little
on,
sweaty.
bro?
Just got back from my bike ride. But yes, sir. Gotta get
Okay,
the
okay.
exercise in. Health
Getting,
is wealth.
getting it.
You know how it go. Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
Absolutely. What's up, X and
Christy.
Queen? I see you all out there.
Yes, sir.
It's that WTF Wednesday.
Absolutely. You already know.
So, hey, you all that's on the call, share this out with a few people that need to hear
Yeah, we're
this.
talking about confidence today, y'all. It's all about confidence. It's all about confidence today. Not to, call any names out, but pretty much like the whole group in total, kind of gave like a unanimous vote that they have confidence. And that's not saying that the guys and that people in general aren't confident, because I'm pretty sure many people overall struggle with confidence in some areas. So I'm not saying that our guys in our group aren't confident at all. They probably are in their respective fields. But, today we're talking about how to overcome the negative thoughts that enter your mind. And there's three different steps that you have to, or that you probably should consider whenever you have a negative thought creeping into your head, down talking you, saying that you cannot do something. So I'll go ahead and kick it off, Moss, and then you can add your sauce to it how you normally do. Yes, sir. So yeah, so whenever a negative thought enters any of you all's minds, always consider these three things. First of all, make sure that you notice that thought. Notice the fact that you're having a negative idea, a negative thought. And the reason why you need to notice that is because you want to make sure that you're identifying that the thought is actually happening. Because many people go through life each and every day and they just, kind of go on autopilot. They don't tend to identify the thoughts, positive or negative, that's going through their minds, and they tend to react instead of, considering what they're actually doing before they do it. They just, feel a certain way, they hear a certain voice in their head, and they just react. But first, notice that negative thought. Secondly, you want to make sure that you name that thought. Name that thought. Why do you want to name that thought? Name that thought because you want to identify that thought as something other than yourself, right? You have a name, and that thought
Yeah.
needs to have a name as well. And that negative self-talk, that negative thought is not you. That negative self-talk is that programming that you've been programmed with throughout your entire life. That's that lack of confidence speaking to you. That's a whole nother entity. That's why it deserves its own name. You need to identify that thought as something other than yourself, because it's not you telling yourself that you can't do something. And third and final, you want to make sure that you negate or neutralize that thought. So once you notice that thought, then you name it and identify it as something other than yourself. Now you want to neutralize it. How do you neutralize it? You neutralize that thought with positive action. Because one thing is for certain, these negative thoughts are going to come in and out of our minds each and every day. We can't necessarily stop the negativity from coming into our minds, but we can affect how we respond to the negativity. And we must neutralize the negative with positive. Like in math, a negative and a positive cancels out, they zero out. So you have to attack that negative thought with something positive. So that's a quick formula on how to overcome negative thoughts.
Hey, I love it, bro. I watched your post earlier. It was great. I like the naming it part because I hadn't thought of that for real. I normally do name
Mm-hmm.
mines though, like hater and all things like that. But yeah, as you stated, a lot of this is not ours. So if you feel like you lack confidence, you don't. You have everything that you need within you. The programming in your mind that's telling you
Right.
you're not confident is what's
Mm-hmm.
controlling your emotions. And this programming could have came from failure, experiences, family, friends, whatever. Whatever that program in your brain that's telling you you're not confident is not
Exactly.
yours to own.
Exactly.
Like, so when you see it, as he stated, recognize it for what it is. I don't care if you're a billionaire, you're going to have thoughts
Yep.
that may not be in alignment. Things, that's the beauty of the mind is you can think about anything you want to. Your imagination can go crazy. And a lot of times our imagination will dictate to
Mm-hmm.
us how we feel about a thing. And it's all based on your belief. It's back to the BS. Nobody lacks confidence. Everybody has the
Mm-hmm.
skills to do something. But if you got that voice in your mind saying, yeah, you can't do that. You're not good at this. You're not good at that. That's
Mm-hmm.
a program. God said he gave you everything you need is within you.
Exactly.
So why are you not winning? Why are you accepting this program telling you lack confidence? Say no. One of the things, here's the action part for me. One of the things I do, I have 2 affirmations. So you all on this call, I promise you, if you do this, it's a life changer. And this is biblical. But when I get those negative thoughts and that program pops up to make me doubt or make me waver or have any inkling of a thought that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, or, whatever the thought is, I'll say, be still and know that I am God. I tell myself that when I have negative thoughts. If I'm allowing the media to dictate to me how I'm feeling, if I keep hearing stuff online about this and about that, or on the Breakfast Club, and then it gets in my head, and now I'm starting to think about it, because
Right.
the thought is nothing unless you think about it. The action that we take internally is the thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have random thoughts. That's just normal. But until you think about it, that thought is nothing, because it'll go
Mm-hmm.
away within 3 seconds unless you think about it. And once you catch yourself thinking about it, that's your old programming telling you that you need to think about this thought. So that's why we believe in the BS and brainwashing this
Mm-hmm.
filthy brain of ours, and identifying, oh, that's from my past. That's from a previous relationship. That's from a previous boss. My teacher might have
Mm-hmm.
told me this in the 2nd grade, and it created a program to make you feel as if you're not confident. When what I'm saying, you have everything within you that you need. You have all things. I forgot. You might know the biblical verse, but
Yeah,
you got everything
we are to
inside.
see everything is encapsulated within us, you know what I'm saying? So, just because you feel down and out, just because you feel like somebody buried you, no, you are a seed, you're not buried. They planted you. Now it's time to water yourself, cultivate yourself, and sprout and grow into the person who God designed you to be. It's all about perspective, and that is a part of confidence also. Life happens to all of us, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much clout you have. Life, positive and negative, happens to everybody, but it's about your perspective on what happens to you that's going to dictate how you respond, and that response is going to dictate how you proceed further, or whether it's going to turn your life positive or negative. And it's important to understand that is you don't need to wait until you feel confident to take an action. Like, confidence really comes from the action taking, not from the feeling. because more times than none, you're not going to feel confident if you're doing something new, right? But confidence comes with the
Right.
practice and the repetition of doing a thing. Like when I first started putting myself out there on social media, I wasn't confident. Like I was like, no one wants to hear me. I don't have anything to say. This is what that's that self-talk I was telling myself. That's, but after I
Mm-hmm.
began to put the reps in and actually go live and put that practice in, that's when I start to feel confident in speaking my truth and being who I am. And this is the person who you see today
Yes.
on live right now after multiple attempts and tries and fails and lessons. This is what comes from that. This is the confidence that you see right now. I didn't feel like this 6 months ago, 3 months ago, but I put the work in and the repetitions created that confidence.
And guess what else it created? Now
Absolutely.
you have a new program. See,
Yeah.
this is the exciting part. This is the part I love that people miss, is that
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
reprogram this thing, man. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
accept your fate as you see it today. You don't have to accept, well, this is just my reality. No, reprogram that thing. If you understand how powerful this is, because, man, it goes back to this BS and this belief system. I'm a firm believer in most religions and most leaders, they believe that we were made in the image and after the likeness of God. I believe in that 1,000%. Why
Exactly.
would I lack confidence? I know I'm
Mm-hmm.
a walking miracle, but we still do. We accept it. And what I tell the mentees and what I'm telling everybody on this call is stop accepting the negative self-talk. Stop accepting. As soon as you hear it, it's going to come because you've been doing it for over 30, 40, 50 years, whatever. It's going to come. And once you see it as negative self-talk, then you replace that with an affirmation, with a declaration, or auto-suggestion where you and your mate get together, turn off all the lights, and visualize where we going to be in 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. Paint me a picture of it. Start focusing on where you're going to be instead of where you are. Because where you are is a reality, and people talk about this keeping it real, keeping it real. I hate keeping it real. I hate it. I hate keeping it reality. I don't want to talk about reality. I want to tell you about what we're about to do with this movement. That's what I want to talk about. I don't want to keep it real and talk about reality, because real is the root word for reality. That's what they're asking you to do. And I'm telling people, I agree with being honest. If that's what you associate to keeping it real, cool, I'm right there with you. Two things can be true. But if you want me to keep it reality and I can't go to fantasy world, then you're going to have a trouble talking to me, because I believe in the power of auto-suggestion. I believe that you can dictate your future by thinking about it.
So,
Because as a man
yep.
thinketh, so is he. It didn't say work and grow rich. It said think and grow rich. It didn't say you had to get a degree to
And
be
I can
able to
attest to
start
that.
thinking.
I can attest to that degree.
Man, this thing right here, you
Yep.
got so much power, but we don't use it because society says, oh, you can't use that. Or my parents told me this, or you're a chip off the... They built your belief system, and how you view the entire world was built on this belief system that you developed from the very first moment that you took a breath. You built your belief system, and other people aided to that. And here's my challenge to everyone on this live and watching the replay. Let's rebuild it, y'all. You got all the tools and gems, and you have the tool set, you have the skill set. But you focused on the wrong set. It's the mindset that's gonna produce assets. Come on, y'all. So what set you
Let's go.
claim?
Let's go. And this is the first step in our curriculum, in our 12-week curriculum of unlearning, learning, and teach one. Each one teach one. Confidence falls up under the unlearning part. And as we stated during this live, y'all, we must start off with the mindset and teach our young people to unlearn all the negative programming that was more than likely probably perpetuated by their parents unknowingly by telling them stop imagining being Superman, stop thinking that you can fly. You know, even though physically we don't
Yeah.
have wings, but shoot, metaphorically, we can all fly, we can all soar. You know what I'm saying? So by
Yes.
parents and people close to these kids telling them to stop thinking and stop imagining and stop questioning and stop asking why, that is subconsciously putting that negative program in these kids. And that's what we're doing by helping these kids to unlearn that negative programming that was unknowingly taught
Yeah.
by some of their parents, friends, teachers, and different grown-ups in their lives.
Teachers.
So
Yeah. But that's the knowing. When you know this,
yeah.
you can't unknow it. You know it now. And here's one of the things I'm gonna say, and the worst thing somebody that needs help can say is, I already know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I already know that. What's the problem? Oh, we tell our children,
Exactly.
you need to grow up. Why? But when you become an adult, everybody on this wants to be young again. Why are you rushing them to grow up? All of us desire youth. Why you not letting them have fun with it? You telling them to be a grown-up. You need to grow up. You need to, life about to kick your behind. And it's like, I don't want none of that. What? The only way you can stop life from kicking your behind, go to college. The military help pay for your college. Go spend the next 4 years of your life not knowing nothing. Like, come on, y'all. It's all about our belief system, our BS. I keep saying the BS because most of our belief systems is built on BS. I'm sorry. Some people might, I got a great belief system. Okay, then teach me. If your belief system is so great, jump on this live and teach me how I can help these young people, how I can help anyone that comes in contact with me on how to build their belief system if yours is perfect. I'll wait. But we know that's not what it is. So this is not to beat anybody up. It's only to recognize we can have to identify what the issue is and quit acting like an ostrich sticking your head in the sand. Because life's steady kicking you in your ass. Like, so stop it. Pull your head out of the sand and think, I'm tired of getting my butt kicked. Let me shift. And as Damon Dillard, one of my coaches, always says, the difference between those that are successful and those that are not is their ability to make a decision. So everybody listening to this, here's what I ask you. I challenge you. Make a decision. Don't worry about whether it's right or wrong. Just make a decision. Once you make the decision, then make the decision right. We get so caught up on, is it right? Is it wrong? Is the right time good? You know, and now time is passing us up and we losing it. We can't get that back. So make the decision and then make the decision right.
Hey, that's it. Hey,
Man.
I can't talk that. I ain't got nothing else to say. That's it.
Hey, bro, but we want everybody to have their confidence built up, man. Like, there's a formula to this, and this is what we're teaching our young people. And it's hard for the teenagers, but guess what? It's hard for some 50-year-olds,
older
bro.
people simply because our brains, this is scientifically proven. As we get older, our brains become more rigid, as in we tend not to even want to learn. We don't want to change. We don't want to alter our way of thinking. This is science, y'all. That's why they say that kids can learn many different languages, like at a young age, because their brains are so it's so malleable. It can absorb a lot of different things. They don't have these preconceived notions of things that they can't do. Whereas you get older, your boss telling you that you suck, your spouse saying that you ain't good enough, you telling yourself what you can't do. All this stuff is a combination, and it creates that hardness in your mind to stay in that one track. And this is something that we can fix early on by fixing that mindset and brainwashing these children to get all that negativity out of their mind.
Yeah. People hear brainwashed and they think, oh my God, you need that filthy thing washed, because life has allowed you to build up all this old negative programming. And here's one thing I want to say to Miss PA Ivory 08 out there with the well-intended but ill-advised direction. Completely agree. The parents had the best intentions, but guess where the parents came from? The Gen X's and my generation that has these teenagers now. Guess where we came from? Survival mode. And guess what we prevented our kids from doing? Having to survive. So they don't even know, they can't even relate to how we were brought up. So when we tell them things, they're confused, like, wait a minute, I ain't had to struggle my whole life because you work, and you complained about it the whole time, but you want me to do what you doing? They don't have the survival mode gene. We got past that, you all. We got past, now we're in the thriving mode. But we as parents don't know how to help them thrive because all we know is survival. So my challenge is not, that's why there's not teens on this call. The parents are on this call. Can you go from survival mode to thriving? Can you? You can. That's a rhetorical question, because with the right programming, you definitely can change that, because you're made in the image and after the likeness of God. Like, come on, y'all. Everything, you have everything, like you're a walking miracle. People die every day by the thousands. You're still here. You got a 24. Yeah, we survived. Yeah, we made it to 6 figures. Yeah, we made sure these kids didn't want for nothing. Now what? Now they're adults, and you don't know how to connect with them, because all you know is survive, plan for the rainy day, make sure you're good. And they're like, we were never raised this way, but the parents were. So there's a disconnect in the communication. So what we do at the WTF is not just for the kids, but it's for the parents also, because we believe in legacy. We believe in legacy wealth. We believe in that, but the parents have to adjust if they truly want to bring their young people up. And if you so stuck on what you've done your whole life, mama and daddy, and you just can't get out of your way, that's what we here for.
Yep.
Bring them to WTF. We guarantee you're never going to worry about your child committing suicide. You're never going to worry about them going to prison. You're never going to worry about them being lonely and feeling as if they have no friends. We have a community of like-minded teenagers. They have friends, and we talk about everything that life might bring your way. Women, taxes, everything. There's nothing, no stones unturned. And that's what we created this program for, because ask yourself this: if you could take your brain and drop it into your 18-year-old self, where would you be when you turn 35? Like my man today is Mr. Dimitri's birthday. He's 35 today. Couldn't let you jump off without that. But think about it. Even you at 35, take your 35-year-old brain with all you went through and drop it into your 18-year-old self. Man, you're a billionaire at 35. You impacted millions by 35. So that's what we're doing. This big old egg, his little peanut, we dropping it on these boys. We dropping it on them. They can ask any question. We're dropping it on them. So again, parents, if you don't have the time or the patience to deal with these knuckleheads, bring them to us. We got time. We got patience. And this is our purpose. This is what What's the Formula is about. Is about uplifting these teenagers. If you tell me I stopped one teenager from committing suicide because of this program, I can live the rest of my life a happy man. And I might not have made a dime, but I saved that life. The WTF program changed his life. If you know parents out there dealing with teenagers like this, send them our way. We got them. That's our goal. That's why we do this.
Absolutely. Parents, don't believe. I'm gonna end off with this. Parents, if you don't believe anything that we're saying, hit us up in our inbox. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have, to alleviate any doubts that you have.
Yeah.
If you even want to sneak peek into one of our two weekly calls, we can definitely make that happen so you can see what we actually are doing. The interaction that we're having with our group hands-on is really game changing. And if you see the testimonials that the guys in the group have already, like just in the past, just since they've been in here for the past 3, 4, 5 months, it's powerful. So, you know, I'm not going to say too much more, but if you have any questions, my inbox is open. Mr. What's the inbox is open. Hit us up. We want to do right by the next generation, because who's going to take care of us, right? This is what, you know, is. So, hey,
dang. Yeah, it won't be that 401k or Social Security, because, hey, we see what's happening with the dollar. Everybody knows that either you're going to be poor or rich. So if you say, I don't need no money, okay, then we'll see you on the other side. But you either going to be poor or rich, poor, wealthy. You ain't got to say rich, wealthy, whatever you want to call it. It's going to go from 3 lines to just 2. So find out where you are, and your teenager can be the one to catapult your whole family and change your whole generational outlook on your family. Get them into the program, y'all. Hey, bro, I got to jump off, man.
Yes, sir. Powerful
I
once
love
again. We'll
this.
see y'all next Wednesday. No jams.
Yeah. Confidence,
Have a
you
good
all.
one.
Confidence.
Peace.
Peace.